She didn't know I was back early, so I followed her BMW to a hotel. Hey there, welcome back to Breakup Cheater. Settle in, grab your favorite drink, and brace yourself, because the story I'm about to share? It's got betrayal, calm fury, and one hell of a twist. My name's Daniel, I'm 37, and if you'd asked me 3 months ago, I'd have told you I was living the dream. I run an import-export firm, which means I spend a lot of time on flights, hopping between Europe and the States. My wife, let's call her Natalie, is 35. We met in high school, she was a freshman, I was a year older. Been together ever since. Married her when she turned 19. We have 2 kids. Liam, who's 11, and Ava, who's 9. We live just outside Atlanta in a nice house with a golden retriever named Scout, a packed fridge, and Saturdays that smell like grass stains and youth soccer. For most of our marriage, Natalie traveled with me. Milan for fashion expos, Tokyo for supplier meetings, Paris for trade shows. She used to say seeing the world by my side was her dream. But 2 years ago she said she wanted her own thing, something local, something grounded. She got a job at a boutique design firm as a project coordinator. I was proud. I trimmed my travel to give us more balance. Everybody wins, right? Well, fast forward to this fall. I was supposed to be in Europe until Friday the 31st. But Natalie's birthday was the 30th, and I wanted to surprise her. So I burned through meetings in Milan, caught a red-eye home on Tuesday, and didn't tell a soul. That morning, her birthday, I crashed at my buddy Marcus's place. Then I went straight to the dealership and bought her that pearl-white SUV she'd been gushing about since May. Full tank, playlist synced, giant red bow across the hood. I had roses on the passenger seat. Her favorite chocolate tucked under the dash. Plan A. Stroll into her office at noon, roses in hand, keys in the other, and sweep her into one of those movie moment embraces. What I got instead was Plan B. I parked just down the street from her office, rehearsing my smile. Before I could get out, the front door opened. Natalie walked out, laughing in a burgundy dress I'd never seen before. Following close behind, a tall, skinny guy in designer glasses and tighter-than-average chinos. In his hand, a bouquet bigger than mine. They slid into his charcoal gray BMW. And just like that, something inside me turned to stone. I trailed them, quietly, 3 cars back. They pulled into a hotel. Not a big chain, not sleazy either. One of those upper-mid places with stone fountains and conference rooms you rent by the hour. They walked in, parked, and for about 5 minutes I just sat there, gripping the wheel until my knuckles cracked. Then the cold set in, the calm, calculated kind that hits me before a high-stakes deal closes. Got out, waited for the security guy on his smoke break, flashed a friendly smile, slipped him enough cash to make him forget he ever saw me. He gave me a key card, told me the room number. No questions. I rode the elevator in silence. Dinged. I stepped into the hallway and slid the key into the door. Blick. There they were. Half-dressed. Giggling. Raving. I leaned against the doorframe and said, real casual, hope there's room for a third. They froze like mannequins. He jumped. Came at me like a string bean with a death wish. I sidestepped, grabbed his arm, twisted, and dropped him face first into the carpet. His nose let out a crunch. He whimpered like a kicked dog. Natalie screamed my name. I didn't yell. Didn't throw a punch. Just grabbed a handful of her hair. Not hard, just enough to guide her to the mirror. There she stood. Lipstick smudged, bra missing, panties halfway down. I asked, how exactly am I supposed to interpret this? Cue the sobs, the excuses, the classics. It was just once. You're always away. I felt forgotten. I didn't stick around. Just slipped the SUV keys back into my coat and said, tell your parents to pick up your stuff. Walked out. That night it wasn't her parents who showed up, it was her. On the porch. At 2:14 a.m. Wearing pajama pants and slippers. Ugly crying. Babbling about polygraphs, DNA tests, whatever proof she could offer. I gave her 5 minutes. Then told her I was staying at Marcus's and locked the door. The next morning I called her dad. Retired Air Force. No nonsense guy. Told him everything. He went quiet. Then said, "She's not welcome in my house until she figures out who she is." Her mother agreed. Now I didn't file for divorce right away. Why? 'Cause our kids adore her. And until that hotel moment she was a great mother. Divorce is a nuke. I wasn't going to drop it without thinking through the fallout. So I laid down rules. She could stay at the house strictly as their mom. No physical contact. No sharing a bed. No marital privileges. One lie, one sneaky text, and it's over. Her lover, let's call him Travis, ended up in the ER with a fractured cheek and a broken ego. I visited. Closed the curtain. Told him he had 24 hours after release to get out of town. He did. His own wife visited him later that day and told him the same. Funny how karma tags in. Natalie quit her job the next morning. Blocked Travis on everything. Still begged me to believe her. So I drove her to the State Police Academy. My old college buddy runs the polygraph unit. 40 questions. Results. No deception. According to the wires, that hotel incident was the only affair. Did that fix everything? No. But it mattered. To test the waters, I planned a trip. Took Liam with me. Father-son backpacking through the Rockies. Natalie and Ava stayed in a cabin nearby. I wanted to see if she could prove herself. Under supervision. We all met up afterward at Disneyland for the cruise I'd promised the kids last year. Before leaving, I signed the SUV over to my cousin. Told Natalie it was a sunk cost. She cried. I didn't. 3 weeks later, I was sitting by the campfire in Colorado. Stars above us like pinholes in black silk. Liam was roasting marshmallows. My phone buzzed. Text from Natalie. "Thank you for still letting me be here. I don't deserve it. But I'm grateful." I stared at that message for a while. Eventually I replied. "Keep showing up for the kids. We'll see where it goes." Look, I'm no saint. But I'm not a villain either. I'm a man who sees marriage like a business contract. You break trust. Sets freeze. That's simple. Can she earn back what she lost? I don't know. But the kids will always have a home that says, "Dad lives here." That's non-negotiable. To anyone going through this, take a breath. Document everything. Lead with facts, not fury. Shield your kids, protect your wallet, and leave your ego last. And if you're the one tempted to cheat, ask yourself, is 20 minutes of attention worth nuking your whole life? Because rebuilding, that takes everything. If you stuck around till the end, thanks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you rebuilt trust after betrayal? Did it work? I'll read everything when I get back from this cruise. Sunburned and overloaded on pineapple smoothies. Until next time. Protect your peace, guard your heart, and never ignore your instincts. They'll save you more than love ever could. See you in the next one.